listen to TV News. I'm Nat Lertzima, but don't get too comfortable with my voice, as for the next 20 minutes or so, I am abandoning you. I'm handing you over to some strange-looking men, pale men who don't see the light of day very much. Why, I hear you cry, why have we displeased you so, Nat? Well, because it's good for you. These gentlemen have been busy playing with their joysticks to bring you all your need-to-know news from the world of video gaming. It's Platform 32.
Welcome one and all to the first ever Platform 32 special, where we take over TV news and bring you nothing but juicy gaming related content for the whole show. If you love video games, you, my friend, are in the right place. If you don't like video games, you can still be my friend, but we might not have much to talk about. Anyway, on today's show, Fallout New Vegas and Enslaved Odyssey to the West get reviewed to the max, and we bring you a special roundup of all the cool stuff you missed if you didn't go to this year's Eurogamer Expo. Sounds good, but that's not all. We also get to chat to the first non-talent show signing to Simon Cowell's record label Psycho in 6 years. He's had a #1 hit in the UK with his collaboration on rapper Tiny Temper's song Pass Out, and he freaking loves retro gaming. Have you guessed who it is yet? No? Well, here's the man himself to introduce himself.
What's good? This is Labrinth and you're watching Platform 32.
The following program contains viewer discretion is advised.
Hi, I'm Ian from Platform 32 and I've managed to drag myself out of my smelly, sweaty, geeky bedroom to come down to Labrinth's studio and talk to him a little bit about his gaming So you've been doing some really cool transmissions to get yourself known amongst the music community.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like 8-bitty reference to them. Are you an old school gamer or do you prefer the new stuff?
You got it perfectly right. I love old school games. I actually have a Super Nintendo at my house as we speak. I'm halfway through the Super Mario World. Yeah.
So you're more Nintendo than Mega Drive?
I'm very old school. Yeah, Mega Drive. I got into it just a touch because my cousin used to have Sonic, and I kind of liked it, but then I was like, well, Mario, Mega Man, you got more games. Let's keep it Nintendo.
So you're not tempted to upgrade to one of the newer ones?
Sometimes, because of course real life. No, I've played GTA. I love a bit of Tekken. Like we've had extreme tournaments in this studio. Like people have gone home crying.
With your love of 8-bit games, have you sampled any 8-bit games for your new album?
I haven't sampled any. I know how to make them though. So I make a lot of kind of little 8-bit beats. I used one in Tiny Temper's Pass Out, and I've used it in Frisky as well. Oh, yeah. So I really do love 8-bit so much that I have to use it on a song.
Want to hear Labrinth play a theme tune from Super Mario World? Don't go anywhere, it's coming soon. How many of you out there remember the 1970s Japanese sci-fi TV show Monkey? If you don't, go ask your parents. I'm a game reviewer, not your bloomin' teacher. You But why am I bringing up this obscure pop culture reference? Well, because both Monkey and Enslaved are based on the ancient Chinese story of Journey to the West. So was Dragon Ball Z, come to think of it. But the only difference with Enslaved is that it's had a 21st century coat of paint, which is PR garb for them slapping a bunch of robots in the game and a Schmiegel's load of Andy Serkis. Set 150 years into the future, after the events of a post-global war that has destroyed most of the human race, Enslaved Odyssey to the West sees you in the spiky do of a man simply known as Monkey. A man who has spent his life alone, hiding in the shadows from the remaining war robots that are still following their program to kill all humans. Monkey is captured by Mech in order for him to be brought into slavery, when another captee, Trip, manages to escape and then blackmails him into helping her back to her tribe, by means of a slave headband that will kill him if Trip dies or if he strays too far away from her.
It works.
The game itself is best described as if the action and platforming parts of Uncharted 2 and the beat-em-up segments of Batman Arkham Asylum had a baby, it would be Enslaved. It's an odd thing to imagine, but works remarkably well. The platforming segments are excellent. Monkey will jump to the ledges you want him to, which in all honesty comes as a pleasant surprise in this generation, and combining them with some of the action segments makes for a real cinematic experience, and the fighting sequences are top-notch too. You watch for enemy actions when they're about to attack, and simply either dodge, block, or if you feel skillful enough, parry and reverse the move, though the best of luck with that. All this is interwoven with an icing on the cake of stealth sections and waterboarding areas. The only thing that Enslaved has going against it is the huge amount of Andy Serkis in the game, who directed, wrote and provided motion capture for Enslaved. I know we've had overdoses of celebrities in games in the past, and if anyone brings up Shaq Fu here, I'm going home right now, but at some points the game just feels like Ninja Theory's 8-hour love letter to the guy. As much as Enslaved wants you to like their gravelly-voiced, bitter-against-the-world character of Monkey, half the time he comes across as an emo Mary Sue for Mr. Serkis to play in the game. Yes, they've even managed to out-Mary Sue Jack Black in Brutal Legend with Enslaved. Who'd have thunk?
If we're gonna get through this, then when I ask you to do something, you need to do it immediately.
Okay. I understand.
But as it stands, Enslaved Odyssey to the West is a highly enjoyable game with gorgeous visuals and great gameplay. If you can endure the 8 to 10 hours of self-love towards the bloke who played the villain in Inkheart, then you'll uncover a deep, rewarding and enjoyable game. In fact, you'd have to be born from an egg on a mountaintop not to pick this one up. Oh, humour.
What do you think? It's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Hi, I'm Ian Higton from Platform32 and I'm stood outside Earl's Court for the Eurogamer Expo, where I'm going to get to try and get my hands on all the best brand new games coming up this year and next, including Fallout New Vegas. I'm going to try and get some exclusive words with some of the developers behind the games. I can tell you what, I'm really excited. I can't wait to get in there! For those of you sat there asking yourselves, why's that weird ginger guy getting so excited? And what the freak is a Eurogamer Expo anyway? Allow me to give you a brief history lesson. Eurogamer began in 1999 as a website which covered all things video games. It grew in popularity until 2008 when it held its first official expo. The event was attended by 4,000 people and was judged a big success. However, that achievement has now been dwarfed by Eurogamer Expo 2010, which saw over 20,000 video gamers turn up to get their joypad hands sweaty over the 3-day event. There are approximately 45 million people in the UK, and with only 20,000 of these people attending, here's what the remaining 44,980,000 people missed out on. Motion-controlled games are in full force this expo, with Nintendo showing off its upcoming Wii-tastic titles. Sony had a special PlayStation Move section which was fenced off, presumably so people playing The Fight wouldn't go accidentally uppercutting someone's mum in the heat of the action, and Kinect drew big crowds, especially the Dance Central stage. I can't understand why though. Other novelty-based gaming experiences making an appearance were Def Jam Rapstar, which drew huge crowds with its sing-along a rap song action, and Rock Band 3 made a headbanging appearance and showed off its new keyboard gadget. 3D games in attendance included Killzone 3 and MotorStorm Apocalypse, and I have to say, out of those two, the 3D in MotorStorm looked a lot more impressive, suiting the frantic driving action a lot better than it did with the sci-fi shooter. Still, both looked fantastic, and helped convince me even more that 3D gaming is the way forward. Oh man, I want a 3D TV. Guess what? Part 1 of our Eurogamer Expo feature is over. But wait, Part 2 is up later. Sweet. That's right, Part 2 of that report is up later, so go plug your joypads into your Play and Charge kit and I'll meet you back here in a couple of minutes. Go!
After the break, more from Platform 32. Welcome back to TV News. Today we're bringing you a video gaming special. It's good for you. It's like broccoli. Take it away, lads.
Still to come, the final parts of our Eurogamer report and our Labrinth interview, but now, join us as we wander the wastelands in our Fallout New Vegas review. As I loaded up Fallout New Vegas and began my campaign, I was hit by a horrible sinking feeling in my gut. On first glance, absolutely nothing in the game has changed. Graphics, sounds, character models, all are built using the same game engine or have been recycled straight from Fallout 3. What I was hoping would be a brand new adventure across the wastelands was quickly looking like nothing more than an expensive expansion pack. I needn't have worried though, because 5 minutes after setting up my character, I was once more sucked straight into the Fallout world, totally absorbed by its storyline, characters and quests. If there was ever an example of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, then this is it. Fallout New Vegas may not have remoulded the game, but it did enable me to fall in love with the franchise all over again. Instead of playing as a vault dweller looking for his paw like in Fallout 3, the character you play in New Vegas is a delivery man for the Mojave Express, who for some reason, which you spend the game trying to find out, is double-crossed by a check jacket wearing Matthew Perry and left to die in a shallow grave with a bullet in his melon. Luckily for you, as soon as Chandler has done a runner with the package you were supposed to be delivering, a platinum poker chip, a wandering robot finds you and digs you up. The game starts proper with you waking up in a doctor's surgery in a town called Good Springs, where, as a way to customise your character's looks and stats, good old Doc Mitchell runs you through some crazy psychological tests. The story kicks off a lot faster than in Fallout 3, which made you spend an hour or two inside the vault before you could venture out into the wide world. In New Vegas, once you've gone through the create your character options, you're kicked right out of the doctor's surgery and straight into the action. Leaving the doctor's surgery for the first time and gazing out across the town of Good Springs is less of a memorable moment than the first time you leave the vault in Fallout 3 and view the vastness of the world though, and unfortunately this was one of the few moments that have been ruined by the similarity of the two games. The exit from the vault in Fallout 3 is one of gaming's great moments. The exit from the doctor's surgery in New Vegas is just, well, meh. In Fallout New Vegas, you're going to run into lots of people, and most of these people belong to certain factions. Some of these are big, like the New California Republic, also known as the NCR, who are your basic military power struggling to control its territories. Then there's Caesar's Legion, who are proper nasty pieces of work, enjoying nothing more than crucifying people and popping their heads on spikes. There are also a handful of smaller factions like the escaped convicts known as the Powder Gangers, who you meet early on in the game. Most of these factions are at war with one another, and it's down to you to choose whether to fight for certain factions, play them all against each other, or alternatively, sack them all off and just destroy everyone. Anarchy! At first, the choices seem easy to make, but the further in you go, the more you end up questioning people's motives and, in turn, your decisions for siding with a faction. Is it for the good of all, or will it eventually only benefit yourself? It's these types of choices that draw you into the experience totally and make the game great. That's part 1 done and done. You better stay tuned for part 2 of this review, or mark my words, we're gonna have a fallout! Ha 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 ha, comedy gold. Ah, nice to see you stuck around. As a reward for your loyalty, here's part 2 of our Eurogamer Expo feature. Unfortunately for the prepubescent gamers amongst us, most of the best games were tucked away in the over-18s section of the expo. Some of the X-rated goodies on show included Dead Space 2, which is bringing Scary back in January 2011. The demo on show had a few puzzle and combat sections to try out and introduced us to a few new bad guys like the Puker and the Crawlers, mutated killer babies, so freaky looking that they even managed to make the ceiling baby from Trainspotting look all cute and cuddly. actually. Fallout New Vegas had a couple of quests to try out. I got my hands on the grenade machine gun during my 10-minute Explorathon. Best weapon ever. And Gears of War 3 was drawing huge crowds with its Beast mode, a kind of reverse Horde mode that puts the player in the shoes of the Locust as they try to wipe out COG forces. Oh, how the worm turns, or something. The highlights of the entire show for me were the many developers conferences, where after queuing for ages the public got to attend special demos of some really exciting upcoming games. Peter Molyneux explored the history of the Fable franchise and announced the Kingmaker mobile phone app, which ties in with Fable 3. The makers of Deus Ex Human Revolution demonstrated some silent takedowns and fought a gigantic mech during an amazing demo which left the audience gasping. Tim Willits from id Software demoed a few levels of Rage, showing off the vehicular combat, crazy weapons and gigantic mutant bad guys. We were also treated to a demonstration of how Killzone 3 will work with PlayStation Move, and it looks like it might actually work pretty well. Plus, legendary developer Yuji Naka had a special Q&A session where he talked about his new game, Ivy the Kiwi, and his most famous digital child, Sonic the Hedgehog. Phew! There were loads more developers in session, but I'm running out of breath. The amazing lineup of games, friendly staffers, and awesome special guests made this Eurogamer Expo a joy to attend. If you love gaming, make sure you keep next October free in your diary, because if this year's Expo is anything to go by, Eurogamer 2011 is gonna be immense. Yeah, I have to agree with myself there, it definitely will be immense. So immense in fact, that I've already booked the Friday off work in preparation. Nice! Up next, our verdict on Fallout New Vegas and part 2 of our chinwag with Labrinth. But now, break time!
Is that the faint smell of mustiness? It must be Platform 32. More video gaming news coming up.
Ah, good to see you back. Thought I'd scared you off there for a second. Not long left on the show now, I'm afraid, but before we quick save and power down for the day, here's the conclusion to our Fallout New Vegas review. Oh, and after that, Labrinth plays us a tune from Super Mario World. Don't look away or you'll miss stuff! Welcome back to the Wastelands, weary traveller. Grab yourself some squirrel on a stick and get comfy for part 2 of our review. A brand new addition is the game's Hardened mode, which offers you a much more realistic challenge to the proceedings. With Hardened mode selected, all your ammo now has weight to it, meaning you can't prance around the landscape holding 500 missiles in your back pocket anymore. Now you'll have to find somewhere to store them. You'll also need to go to the doctors to heal broken limbs if you don't have a doctor's bag on you to treat the wound, and most regularly, you'll have to manage the amount of sleep you have and also your intake of food and water. Get too hungry and your stats will suffer, making you weaker and slower. Forget to drink and you're screwed. I forgot to pause the game at one point. Went downstairs for my din-dins, and when I came back up, my poor chap had died of dehydration. You really need to super manage every aspect of your character in harder mode, and although this makes the game harder, it also makes it that little bit more involving and therefore fun. To help you monitor and manage your health, items, weapons and ammo, you are once again kitted out with a Pip-Boy. Using the Pip-Boy, you can monitor your need for food, water and sleep, plus your health and exposure to radiation. You can repair weapons, check up on quests, fast travel to locations and loads more. It's your whole RPG menu system on your wrist, and for Fallout veterans it's super easy to use. Noobs may get a little confused to start with when confronted by all the facts and figures, but the straightforward operation means it becomes second nature pretty soon. One of the most negative things about Fallout New Vegas, which has been hitting the gaming headlines since its release, is the amount of glitches and bugs present in the game, and to be honest, the reports are not exaggerations. While playing the game, I came across quite a few graphical glitches, which included my gun disappearing and reappearing, enemies running on the spot, scenery popping in and out of existence, and one wandering merchant who I can't buy anything off because each time I accept the transaction it crashes and hangs the game. Boo, reset. According to Bethesda though, patches are incoming rapidly, so these should all be sorted soon. Ish. Hopefully. Please? So New Vegas, you glitchy little copycat, are you worth a purchase? Well, rather than being a stale rehash of Fallout 3, which to be honest is exactly what it looks like at first glance, New Vegas manages to become an engaging, involving game in its own right. And although it's not quite as good as its predecessor, it still manages to be up there in my Games of the Year list. Welcome back to part 2 of Platform 32's exclusive interview with Labrinth, where we talk to him about his love of retro gaming.
If there any game in the world you could have done the soundtrack for, what game would it be?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Probably Tetris and Zelda.
Zelda,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
classic, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
because you
love
get a lot of people doing Grand Theft Auto and stuff
Yeah.
like that, soundtracks of that.
Yeah.
Would you be tempted to do something like that?
I would if I could do an 8-bit one for
Yeah?
them. Yeah. They
play.
should actually do like a little section in GTA where
Little
you could
8-bit
go 8-bit.
section.
Yeah, that
like
would be amazing.
you could go into an arcade and
Yeah.
play a little 8-bit GTA.
That's the one. That's the one.
So, favourite game ever? If you had to pick one game to take with you to a desert island?
What game would I be playing? I'd probably say Mario, man.
So you got your guitar with you. Fancy playing a song of your choice?
I think I will. I think I know a little bit of it. I tried this out the other day. It's a little bit sad of me to like be listening to Mario games and trying to learn the soundtrack.
Oh, really?
Hey!
Fair play, man.
We can play it on my Nintendo Entertainment System.
Finally, when's your album out?
My album's gonna be out next year, but it hasn't got we haven't found a date yet. But before that, I'm gonna go to Nashville. I'm gonna work with a few artists that I love. Like I might work with Kings of Leon, work with Bjork, Daft Punk, and see what I can steal from them and put on my album.
Sweet. So if any of our viewers want to hear some more of your stuff, find out more about you, where can they go to?
You can go to Labrinth TV on YouTube, and you can go to Twitter and just probably talk to me and get some ideas if you want on Labrinth the First on Twitter.
Well friends, it's been an emotional first Platform 32 special. I really feel like we've grown as people during our time together, and I hope you do too. If you want more video gaming goodness, then keep your TV tuned into TV News for our latest gaming segments. But if that's not enough, you can also check out our videos on our website at www.platform32.com. You can even get all social with us on Facebook and Twitter. Web address details are in the credits. Right, I'm off to play Fallout New Vegas. I've got a pack of angry Deathclaws giving me grief and I need to sort them out. So now, over to Nat for details of this week's competition. Good luck!
It's competition time again, and we've got prizes for the whole family to enjoy. First up, courtesy of Walt Disney Home Entertainment, we have newly released on Blu-ray the amazing magical Fantasia, a timeless masterpiece featuring a handful of animated segments set to classical music, including The Sorcerer's Apprentice, which features Mickey Mouse as an aspiring magician who oversteps his limits. It's an extravaganza of sight and sound, and it's got dancing mops in, everything you ever wanted. Also, courtesy of Walt Disney Home Entertainment, we have newly released on Blu-ray A Christmas Carol, starring Jim Carrey as the unpleasant bar humbug character Ebenezer Scrooge. The film is adapted from Charles Dickens' classic festive tale A Christmas Carol and tells the story of grouchy Scrooge and his refusal to embrace the Christmas spirit. It's a must-see. Plus, again, courtesy of Walt Disney Home Entertainment, they just give and they give, these guys. We have the Blu-ray and DVD combi pack of Beauty and the Beast. The film follows the adventures of Belle as she comes face to face with a hideous beast who's really a prince put under a spell by an evil witch. Will love blossom is the burning question. Courtesy of High Flyers, we have How About You? The story of Kate, who reluctantly leaves her impetuous younger sister Ellie in charge of the residential home for the elderly she runs, while she travels to look after their sick mother. Will Ellie be able to cope with the older residents? I'm guessing not, or that would just be a film about a girl dealing with stuff competently. Also, with Christmas just around the corner and courtesy of Universal Pictures, we have It's a Wonderful Life, the timeless and inspirational classic about a compassionate but despairingly frustrated businessman who has shown what life would have been like if he'd never existed. And last but not least, courtesy of Showbox Media Group on Blu-ray, we have Little Big Soldier, described as Jackie Chan's best film in years. Based on an original story created by Chan himself, the film is an irresistible pulse-pounding deluge of side-splitting comedy, stunts and kinetic martial arts. So to be in with a chance of winning these prizes, just answer this question. Which out of the following is a character in Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol? A. Tiny Albert, B. Tiny Tim, or C. Tiny Edward? So if you know the answer to that question and fancy entering, then all you need to do is call 0800 466 1070. Our TV news competitions run from Monday till Sunday, 11 p.m. every week. Winners will be chosen when the line's closed and notified by telephone. You can also enter via our website, www.tvnewsonline.tv. Calls are free from a BT landline, but other networks and mobiles may be considerably higher. You need to be 18 years old to enter and get the bill payer's permission before making a call. For full terms and conditions, visit our website. Good luck! Thanks, lads, for an exciting half an hour of video gaming news, and shush some of you who're saying that's an oxymoron. Now go and rest your tired thumbs. We'll be back tomorrow with shed loads more entertainment news and reviews on the show that we like to call TV News.